It's me, Dan Olds again. This is another 2025 Winter Classic Invitational Student Cluster Competition Update show. We're doing a check-in interview with Team Santa Cruz, actually better known as the Not So Slow Slugs. And how's it going today?
Well, yeah.
The sun is shining there. The sun always shines there. So
Always.
what's the difference? In fact, I think that people there get frightened if it rains, right? And start thinking about stocking up on food.
They start driving differently.
Trees start
Yeah.
falling. Start power goes out. Yeah.
Yeah, we certainly don't want to drive because it looks like rain. Yeah. How do we set for water in canned goods? Yeah. Anyway, got a little bit of a happy day here because I'm going to share some scores that have been previously undisclosed to you. But let's talk a little bit in general, just anybody or go around or whatever. What's been the toughest thing about the competition so far?
I think the toughest thing for us is mostly like scheduling around everybody's really tight schedule. It's just like packed in these final weeks.
Yeah.
So taking shifts pretty much.
Yeah. I totally understand that. And I hear that from other teams too. It's kind of like there's a way that of saying I heard about war is that amateurs talk about tactics, professionals talk about logistics. And you're talking about logistics. And you're right. That is the toughest thing in this. But you've done it well. Any of the individual challenges stand out as particularly hard or easy or anything?
AWS.
Really?
Yeah.
Not Oak Ridge, not the quantum computing.
No.
Really?
It was pretty much follow the instructions and tweak a few things and get the data.
Yeah.
AWS was like
it was wide open.
It was wide open. And that's
The problem is they gave us quite a lot of stuff pre-set up that the hardest thing in that competition was not using what they gave us. Like it was way harder to it was way easier to just make our own thing than it was to modify what they gave us, which it didn't feel intended. It didn't fair is not the right word. There's a better word, but it didn't feel that.
Yeah, it's tough because in putting this whole thing together now, it's in its fifth year, is that there's a wide range of schools in this. There are schools that don't have anything like a high performance computing class. There are schools like yours that do. And then there's the rest of them are in the middle, and a lot of the schools that are in this, they want to get into high performance computing. They want to get a little buzz going amongst the students and stuff. And plus the mentors only have you for a week. And it's mostly up to them, but when we talk, they're saying, well, should we have them just, go out and start from zero, go out and find the application, find the right version of it, find all the dependencies. You guys could do that. There are a lot, though, that would be something that given, class schedules, jobs, everything else, and then learning all that, how to do all that stuff on top of it would make it uneven, unfair. It's hard. There were until this year, I had assumed that most students in a computer science program knew Linux. I was wrong. There are a lot that don't have a required hands-on Linux class. And and some of them don't have any Linux class at all. And so that's why I spent so much time finding and adding that Linux curriculum that under the resources thing, and the same thing with the basic HPC stuff that was in the crash course, because it's there's a lot of places it's not taught. And my whole goal, and I think we're kind of got there, is that if you have like, you know, 5 motivated students from any school in the US, computer science or not, they could go through those materials and do decently in this competition. That was kind of the goal of it. So long answer to that question, but yeah, it's some of this stuff is definitely going to be easier for, kids with your experience. Yeah. There's not much I can do. I've got to kind of level it somewhere, right? And I don't want to throw a handicap on, schools that have HPC, because that's not fair either. Although my mind is reeling with ways to do that. How to make things hideously unfair to you guys.
Yeah.
And Texas Tech. Yeah, that's an idea. Okay. So yeah, that's where we're at, and that's why it is how it is. And by the way, the mentors get a big kick out of doing this. They want to do this every year, which is kind of cool because I didn't foresee that. So do you want to know how you've been doing?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You sure? Okay. Well, you're kind of it's Santa Cruz doing their Santa Cruz thing. It's been a pattern I've noticed. I'd have to go back and really look at it. But for instance, your win pack right out of the gate, 7.
Yeah.
Nice job. And you guys are back there saying, "Oh yeah, we don't need all this stuff. The way we do it's better than 7, pal. 7." But it was close. I mean, you had 90% of the top score. It's always grouped like that. HPCG better at 3rd. Still 93% of the top score. That's okay. That's fine. Then we get to that exam, which, by the way, I think I'm going to make that the first event in competitions from now on, to make everybody learn some stuff, or at least prove you know it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And how did the mighty Santa Cruz do? 5th. Expecting a little more, but that's okay. You had now I'm looking at this. You ranked like 9th in terms of points. You missed some stuff in there. But to make up for it took you longer to do. So you're like 9th in points and 10th in time, but you ended up in 5th, which, it's okay. Then things changed. We went to Oak Ridge and quantum computing, which seems like it's right up your alley. You pulled in a strong 3rd there.
Not bad.
Pretty nice.
It was good. It was very good. There was a big spread on that. New Mexico took it home with 100 points. You guys were in 3rd with 93. You made up some ground because some of the folks that were ahead of you didn't. Then we go to AWS, and you were 2nd, and a strong 2nd. 90 points.
Was that the default config we were in 2nd with?
Yeah.
The
Did you
default-
default
we use
configuration?
You use the default?
Yes.
Did you just tune the hell out of it then?
No, we just installed a newer version of Linux and rebuilt everything with a newer version of GCC.
Rebuilt. You rebuilt
Yeah.
stuff.
Rebuilt.
Okay. Now the whole key to that
Amazing.
challenge was not to have you tune the app, but to find the right instance, the right instances, the best instances. And
That's
you didn't even
the
look.
fun. We did quite a big spread. We went to ARM. We went to the Graviton 4 instances. We
Okay.
went to different AMD instances. We even tried Intel.
Okay. And you
Yeah.
didn't find anything better.
No.
That's
And
fair
as
enough.
for Intel was notoriously hard to compile on because none of the buckets would work. And closer to the end of the event, it started kicking me out while I was trying to build the program even though I had a lot of time left.
That's interesting.
Yeah, we had
That I haven't heard.
we had a lot of problems with being disconnected from the terminals.
That's a personal problem.
You're
I mean, come on, right?
right. I should just use screen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could have gone to a public library and done that. The only thing that kept you out of first place on that, I think, is that your price performance calculation wasn't right. You didn't use the right formula. And that's just little notes that I have from Evan. I'll talk to him tomorrow. We're going to do an interview tomorrow and find out more. But everything else was right on. Do you happen to remember how much time it took you?
For
What your final and your best run? How
was,
quickly
3
it
minutes.
completed?
3 minutes and 17 seconds.
Good. Okay. Good job. Good job on that. Now, the thing is that based on that score, and your sort of surge, again, you're doing that Santa Cruz thing, you're now in second place.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
We did this last year.
You did this last year. You did it the year before. I'm gonna say 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not about winning every one of them. Although I gotta say, Texas Tech Red Raiders are getting close to doing that. It's being consistent, like consistent second or third, and that's what you've strung together. And then doing that on some of the challenges where some come in at like 30 points as opposed to your 90 or 93 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what mixes it up so much. And then the interview will do that again.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're a solid second. Let's see how solid. You're at 445 points right now. Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, 482. Behind you is New Mexico Roadrunner at 396. So you're not incredibly comfortable there.
We would have to get 50 points below them, right, on the next com.
On the next 2 things, because you've got Pittsburgh PSC this week, and then the interview. And the interview has changed things significantly in the past.
How many points is the interview?
100,
100?
same as everything else. Maximum of 100, normalized.
Chance.
So yeah, so there's still 200 points out there to get. And, you know, if someone stumbles, that could change the order of finish. I mean, you're pretty solid in the top 3, I think, but I've thought that before too. But who knows, right? And you haven't taken a look at the Pittsburgh thing yet.
Well, yeah, we took a brief look over it.
Did you? Did it look okay?
It looks very manageable. We started splitting up the work already.
If from what I can see, it looks like it's a run and tune on CPUs, run and tune on GPUs. What's the difference?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
That's up your alley. You've been down that road before. We've had a couple of those different application, but that's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, see, so, you know, in kind of closing this out, let's go around and just each one of you, what have you gotten out of this experience this year? And I think this is second year for at least Andrew, right? Who else?
Yeah. And Ant.
And that, okay. And you're seniors, right?
Yes.
So you're graduating out of it.
Yep.
Unless you come back in grad school and do it, which you can do. But yeah, go around in any order you wish. And what do you
Yeah.
think?
Well, as I said in our last meeting, this was definitely a deep dive for me. And now I'm kind of thinking of it as not just one deep dive, but kind of a sequence of multiple deep dives.
Hmm,
And
really?
I'm also a senior too.
Okay.
And, right, this is my first year here, so I'm considering doing it again for my grad school year. But other than that, yeah, it's
You can do
been
that.
definitely a lot of new challenges that I've never expected to, work with before. And this team has been very great in, paving the way for me. And I really appreciate that.
You've had good cohesive teams, and I think that really helps. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Who's up next?
I'll go next. I'm also part of the senior club, but unfortunately, I'm probably not doing grad school here. We'll see.
Gonna get a real job?
No, my first pick for grad school is in Calgary. So,
Calgary?
yeah, there's a specific program.
Really?
Yeah, that's it's a reverse engineering master's, and
Is it combined with rodeo or animal husbandry?
I don't think so.
Okay, you might want to check. But okay.
Yeah, I'll do that. That'd be good to know.
So reverse engineering. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I do that a lot, working with compilers and very, very weird systems.
Mhm.
And I mean, I said it at the beginning, but towards the end of this comp, I really realized that this is a great way to apply those skills.
Yeah.
Because again, for example, in the AWS stuff, sometimes we had to build the libraries ourselves, right? And sometimes that caused issues. And I imagine we'll be doing that for the upcoming host as well. But yeah, I mean, it's just been a really fun way to apply the skills I already had to something new.
That's cool. That's a new angle on me. That is cool. Good job. Did you get into grad school in Calgary?
I've not gotten like an official confirmation yet, but things are looking pretty good. So
Okay. Well, if there's anything I can do to help, let me know. I
I'm
don't
pretty sure
know. I could write a letter or something like that. Sure. But
the end of the process right now. So
okay. They
but
cashed your check.
come again?
They've already cashed your check though.
Oh, they did that months ago.
Months ago. Okay. Okay. So now you're just waiting for thick envelope or thin envelope.
Yep.
Yeah. I've been there. I know.
Thick email or thin email.
Yeah, exactly. When you're seriously look at the email size, 1 KB, not good. But an attachment with an email, better. Okay. Okay. Unless that attachment says, yeah, no, we meant it what we said in the email. We're just sending it in a PDF to confirm. Don't apply again. Don't come back. Yeah. That would be good. Andrew, is that you next?
Yes. Yeah, so I'll be graduating and I do plan on going to grad school. I was recently accepted to UCI for computer engineering. So maybe you'll see me in another HPC comp just under a different name. We don't know yet.
You got traded. You've traded yourself.
I'm a trader, yes.
Yeah. No, I mean,
But,
traded like pro athlete. You're going on
yeah.
someplace else. I think you had a better chance to go to the championship there. So, yeah. That's fair enough.
But one of the great things I got out of this comp was specifically the AWS, even though it was like kind of weird that they gave us the best system already. I think that experience of setting up infrastructure, like the infrastructure as code thing, was really cool. Like I haven't had experience with that. And going forward, I'm actually planning on learning like MPI and applying it on like AWS parallel UI clusters and like paying for it myself. So this is like a good intro to that.
That is cool.
So
yeah. Evan is going to be really happy to hear this. I mean, he's one of those mentors that just, he loves this competition and he puts a lot of thought into it.
Yeah.
And that's cool. That's just great.
Yeah.
Allie?
Oh, that was me.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Next, who the hell am I looking at? I'm just looking at my rosters here. Oh, I'm on a different team. Okay. Toulon,
yeah.
Toulon. I got to pronounce both those at once? I can't. We're not pals. You can't just be two to me.
It's all my first name.
Well, you got a space in there.
I do have a space in it, but
A dash might be good.
yeah, sometimes it's for the dash. Yeah, from this comp, I've learned a lot. It's also my first experience with high performance computing and stuff, and I've just learned a lot about like the current events and like culture of like, for example, Intel like compilers working better on AMD.
Yeah, that's right. We were talking about that. Yeah.
Like, I don't know, just all of those things and the general workflow of how to, when you have something and you want to make it run faster, the first things you try, and then, yeah, just going down the line. So
That's all good stuff. And this is what year are you?
I'm a junior.
Junior. Okay. You got a year of eligibility left. You want to do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's your major? You're a computer science major?
No, I'm applied math.
Oh, okay. Oh, I remember that. I remember applied math with somebody somewhere of the thousands of interviews I've done. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just got approved for a computer science minor. Yeah.
Double major. Don't you? Double major. Come on.
No,
You've got
they don't-
time.
they don't let you major
They
in
don't
CS
let you
here.
do that.
No, they
Yeah.
don't let you.
Yeah, fair enough. I can kind of see that, but
I've completed the whole CS degree requirements and they still won't let me have it.
whoa.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They do that.
Elective majors.
Wait, what are they looking for? More money? They're looking for like you're gonna get double major, you're gonna pay not quite double, but something.
You really lose nothing for giving you the reward.
What, like $2 printing charge?
Yeah. That extra
Another
ink,
diploma.
you're gonna have to work for
Yeah,
that.
that's probably it. Yeah, they don't want to have to do the word processing involved in it and all the records. You've got 2 database entries. Who wants that? You want another degree? Come back and get one.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And last but not least, remote.
Yeah, so what I've got a lot out of this is being able to use the stuff I've learned over this entire year of sorry,
That's okay.
just need to clear my throat, of doing HPC, the stuff I learned from last year's Winter Classic and then Indy, and using that for
You
using
did
that
Indy too. Okay. Okay.
yeah. Also, what's really stuck with me is being able to use some of the applied math I've learned for Oak Ridge, and sorry, I don't know
It's
what's
okay.
going on here.
You got time.
And I really enjoyed AWS. To follow up on Andy's point, infrastructure as code was one really fun, but more interesting was having to like create our own subnets.
Didn't even think of that. That makes sense.
We did have to do that for Intel because the Intel machines have 2 network devices. And even though we followed the AWS docs on how to turn off the second network device.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. And we couldn't figure out what configuration they did in their subnet to force it to fail all the time. So we ended up making our own subnet outside of their configuration to get the Intel machines running.
Good job on that. That is nicely done. And boy, so big kudos for the AWS challenge, eh? Huh.
Well, it didn't turn out to be useful, but well, I guess we learned something from it, but it wasn't helpful in terms of the competition.
Well, I mean, number 2 is pretty good, pretty helpful. Whatever
That was all
route you took to get there.
That was all with the default stuff.
Well, no, it wasn't, because some teams just, for some reason, didn't get the point that it's not to run Wharf, it's to, find the right instance, right? And at least what I was really going for, I wanted somebody to go out and profile Wharf and see exactly where the bottlenecks were, and then find the nodes that would address those bottlenecks. Like, for instance, if it weren't scaling to all the cores that you had, find some lower core instances, but higher frequency. You probably save some money there too. Um, that sort of thing. But as far as I can tell, at least from the teams I've done the follow up with, no one did that.
Yeah.
Why didn't it? Wait, it was because we didn't press it hard in the initial briefing, but it was in there somewhere. Was that something that just didn't occur to you, or no
Well,
time?
I saw some initial stuff when running WRF on multiple threads. The amount of memory it uses scales differently. So I was running on a lower thread or a lower core count machine
Uh-huh.
with lower amounts of memory to save money, but it kept running out of memory. So the MPI threads would terminate and kill the program. And so I was like, okay, I need more memory. And then you go to the memory optimized nodes or instances, and they cost double what the HPC nodes were. The HPC nodes were priced so well that it was a no-brainer to keep going.
Really?
It's like
Okay.
$2.88 per hour versus like an equivalent node with more memory running like $5 to $6 an hour.
Did you look at the spot market at all? Just
Spot
curious. You could have used the spot market.
Oh,
I,
Yeah.
I don't think we were aware of the spot
What is
market.
this spotlight?
Well, what it is it's basically nodes you can grab right now, but they can be interrupted.
Oh,
Ah, yeah. So they're cheaper, quite a bit cheaper. They're
Okay.
just there's nodes that aren't being utilized right now. If you want them, grab them. And I'm not sure what the minimum commitment is, but it's not much time, and they could be interrupted, but you're just looking at a run of 4 minutes or so.
Yeah,
So what are the odds?
yeah,
And a couple of teams did use that.
I see.
Yeah, but it's good you went through the whole exercise of and you kind of profiled it in your head a
Mhm.
bit by noticing that. But there are some teams that went with just the straight as presented, you know, going through the steps, ran it, got under 4 minutes and 30 seconds and called it good.
Yeah,
Or tried to like port it to ARM or something, which
we
doesn't
tried
make a lot of
Oh,
sense.
but we got arms to work.
Yeah.
It was faster, but it cost way more was the problem.
Okay. 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 I'm kind of surprised it was faster.
Yeah, it was faster by a little bit. It
ARM
was like 3 minutes and 4 seconds on a equivalent ARM, two ARM instances, 96 cores, and they were memory optimized instances. So they had like
Oh,
768 gigs per
yeah.
instance, which was overkill. We only needed 384 or something. Yeah.
But I bet that's the difference is free and easy memory, no
Yeah.
contention. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, ARM is
Um,
really good at multi-core stuff and memory stuff because they've got way better instructions for that than x86 does.
Okay, good stuff. So now everybody's going on to some sort of grad school, right? Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think so. 4 of us, right? Yeah.
Anybody's going to try and mix an internship in there somewhere or something?
I'm trying to get an internship over the summer, but it's not HPC related. It's just
Well, you thought retail or
no,
something?
it is
Sell cars?
it is a computer science thing. It will be a programming internship, but it's not going to be like I'm not going to be using HPC stuff. It's just going to be programming.
Are you locked in on that?
No, not at all.
Well, then let's keep an open mind. There's a lot of stuff out there.
There is, yeah.
And you've got the thing about this competition, you've got the chops and you've got the stories to prove it, right? That would make a lot of sense to anybody hiring for HPC. And there's some national labs and there are some HPC folks around where you are. So, yeah. And if there's anything I can do to help any of you get to that point, let me know.
Mhm.
More than happy to. So keep that in mind. And that's wargaming out possibilities and letters of recommendation, stuff like that. And your resumes are going to be going out if you've done that to all the mentors and sponsors too.
Yeah.
So yeah, you now know someone in the industry. That's me. See how far that takes you. Yeah. Yeah, that's a gateway to the stars. But at least I'm here. But it's been great having you. I'm going to be really interested in seeing how you do on these last two challenges.
We are too. Yeah.
Because come on, it's time.
It's time.
Time for Santa Cruz to bring home a bigger, better trophy.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And if you do, what I want to see is once you get it, I want to see pictures of you parading it around campus like Stanley Cup style.
We will. We'll do that.
And all the cool places in Santa Cruz, show it to people, drink brew out of it, whatever you want to do. But nobody's done that yet. That would be very cool.
Yes.
I will publicize the hell out of that.
Oh.
That would be excellent. Hell, do it with all the trophies you've got. I think you've got 3 of them in your or 2 of them in your trophy case at least. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
One for all 5 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fill it with soup, pasta, whatever you want to do. Yeah. That would be very, very good.
Go to Four Sisters, get some noodles.
Yeah. Yeah. Go to Starbucks. Hand it to them across the counter. I brought my own. Yeah. We're going to want probably 14 shots in that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, well, thank you so much for spending the time on this interview, making the time. And let me know if there's anything I can do and finish strong.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure, Dan.
Thank you.
It's always a
Bye-bye.
pleasure.
See ya.
See ya.